Welcome on the show. It's good to be here, and I'm really excited to be here today. Heidi Soliman, how are you doing?
I'm
Thank
great, Temi. I'm great. I miss your beautiful face, and I miss your presence, and
you.
I miss your hugs. I really, really, really would drive now to get a really big hug from you. How are you, my friend?
I miss you. So, in fact, whenever I'm not on the show, or by accident or anything and I'm watching, I'm pinching myself like I don't want to be anywhere else. I really want to be with you guys. It's an amazing, and I must say last week, oh my gosh, I rang Bumi. I'm like, how is our insurance? We need to pop up this insurance because that was beautiful. But that's one of the things that actually really give me energy, and I'm really really happy because and to see the way you anchored the show, Heidi, like
Oh,
forget
that's
about Temi. You really don't need Temi, like you're good. I'm really happy because I don't like a situation where you're not there and things don't go on. It's bad, and I really don't like it at all for anything. And I'm so grateful that like tell me, forget it. If you're gonna go to wedding, where show is gonna go on.
yes,
So I'm
that's
really
true.
really happy to be back. Bumi is in Queensland. I'm meant to go with him. I'm like, not this time, because I don't want anything to mess me up again. I really need to hang out with you, but I really miss your hug as well. I
Thank
guess
you, Temi.
you already planned something for next week for us, so it's gonna happen. So you're gonna see me again, and we're gonna
Yes, yes, that's so good. Yes, can't wait for that to happen.
meet
And
too.
we spoke about it last week very, very briefly. We are celebrating our second year of being, in the show. Yeah, so it's an amazing blessing, and we're so fortunate to have each other and to have our viewers and to have everyone that follows us. It's such a beautiful blessing. So thank you, God, for this amazing gift that we have, and thank you for the nurture, Temi. Thank you because you nurtured this. This is your baby. This is your baby, and you nurtured it from day one. And I've watched you grow, and I've watched myself grow doing this show. Yes, yes, and it's so amazing. Such a
Fan-
blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, ID. You might think I nurture it, but if you're not being responsible with it, the kind of vision I have is not what you can just do alone. I do things alone, I do, but this platform is the one that you do with conversation. And like the ideas that you bring, I don't have them. I'm hearing things from you from last week. I'm like, really? Is this happening? Because there's limit to what you can go and read online. How much would you read? So
Yes.
I hear from people and I gather all this information, then I'll go and investigate. But if nothing brings that notion to my attention, then I don't investigate. I got too many things to do than to just sit down and ask about in Egypt what happened there. But you said quite a lot of things last week that really blew my mind. I'm like, really? This is worth investigating. This is worth even digging in more into. And so that wisdom that you bring, it's amazing, you know and Liz responded to a few things as well nicely last week. I just like the camaraderie between both of you. I'm like, wow, this is good. Thank you, God. I'm really excited. But it's amazing. I'm very happy to be back, to really be
Thank
back. I
you.
badly, badly. And to our viewers, thank you. Like what ID said about our 2 year anniversary, we're going to be doing it. We might not be able to do it the way it is anticipated for this year. Next year is going to be greater, but we will do something and we'll let you know. But thank you. I think it's just an opportunity to say thank you to our viewers.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we appreciate you. People are very busy these days, but we do bring a lot of wealth of knowledge on the show. And I went to a couple once, and they were asking themselves some serious questions. And they said to me, thank you for that show, because we were able to ask ourselves. The husband said, I was able to ask my wife some serious questions that, do you have something outside of what I do that you really want to do, because I don't want you to just follow my vision if it's not your vision. Like, really, do you have something? Remember when I was saying that some people desire to probably build their own house, you know?
Mhm.
And you might be building house, Mr. and Mrs. whatever, but you desire something and you're not able to tell your husband or your partner. And we talk about you need to be open and honest. Don't be angry. People are angry sometimes. You don't know why they're angry because they want to do something. They don't know how to tell their partner and they're angry. You see, so be open. It's not the end of the world, really, if you ask and if you work together. If you have good partner, you will help each other to build, and that will be sustained by both of you. But I love this show, and I'm grateful to God, and I hope, you know, I know that you enjoy it as much as I do. So
Oh yes, I do. I do so much, and I look forward for every Saturday. This is the highlight of the week, you know. I would love if we can get together and we do more things together, because that would even, be a bigger impact on our own lives as well. And if we can get together at some times, maybe once a month, that would be great. If once a month we get together and we get, to do this together and have some time that we discuss things together and we are together energetically, Temi, it makes a big difference. It does. It does.
well, I dropped the ball in that area, which I will sit up and I will sit tight and I will step up. I pro- I promise I'll do more and I'll do better. It's true. We used to do that, and but in a couple of months now, I think COVID might have affected us, and we just left it as it is, which is not
Yeah.
good. So, yeah, we're gonna do more of that. But let's go on a break, and we're back to explore all that ID dished out last week. Out. We'll be back. We go on a quick break. We'll be back. Welcome back on the show. This week we're gonna. I missed out, like I said, on a couple of ID's topics that she was dealing with, but one of the ones that really got my mind was that in Egypt, people don't bear their husbands' names. And I found out that, you know, in a place like a place in Canada, one of the Canada states of Quebec, they forbid a woman to even bear the husband's name. They forbid, it's forbidden. You know, in China, it's you don't need to. You don't need to, you don't. But your child, and then one thing that I found out ID is that your child can bear either of your last name, the surname, my surname and Bumi's surname. Our child could bear that,
Mm.
uh, bear those things
In China?
in China. And a woman
Wow.
don't need to bear the husband's name either.
Mm.
Japan, in Japan, they have an understanding, it's your choice what you want to do. In the Philippines, it's optional as well. So a lot of places, you know, they don't bear their husbands' names, because I know that I heard last week as we discussed that is kind of cultural, and it could be patriarchal, because men wants to be want you to bear their name. So that is very, very interesting. You know why?
Hmm.
Because one day I had this discussion with a girl, my friend's daughter, who then she was at 24, and she was saying she will never bear her husband's name because she wants to maintain her father. And I spent a whole lot of time to convince her to bear the husband's name. I said, you know why? I think I'm biased, ID.
Oh, okay.
I am biased because I have a son, his son, and this boy is going to marry, because traditionally we've always, from where I come from, I guess is English style anyway. based on English principle or whatever. So now I want a girl to bear my son's name. I'll be so happy. I don't want
Mm.
to have a daughter-in-law that don't bear my son's name. I really don't want. So I was talking to this girl and she's so strong-headed that she's not gonna bear this guy's name.
Mm.
Strong-headed. And I'm like, you have a problem. But listening to the show last week, I've been thinking and I was researching. I'm like, let's find out. And a lot of nations are not making it mandatory to bear. So who told us that you really automatically have to bear your husband's name?
That's a good question. And the only thing that I found about researching why is it that some nations actually insists or they promote or this is what they get, this is what they do is that they make the wife take the husbands, is that it's just like it's a tradition for some sort,
Mm.
or the ladies get some, she strips away from her prior engagements, like how the Bible says you will leave the father and the mother, and then you are with he will look, the husband will look after you,
Yes.
like his own. And so this is why she leaves the father's name and then she sticks to the husband's name. But
Actually, that is the reverse. The Bible said the man will leave the father and the mother and cling to the wife. So if the man is leaving this home, that's what the Bible says, and clinging to your wife, you
ah,
yeah. So the wife is not actually coming to you according to the Bible.
really?
Yeah, a
What's
man.
this name thing?
That's right. So if you now come and cling to me, why do I have to now relinquish my name for
Big,
you?
yes,
So
that
that
doesn't
is
make
it.
sense.
Yeah. So really, if you want to go that way, it really doesn't make sense. Exactly right. That is really interesting. So
Yeah.
I think the essence of this is really liberating for people who is very cultural like myself. And you just follow the pattern and you don't question it. So but when I was gonna get married, I'll say this, I didn't like my husband's last name. I never like Ajayi because where I come from, Ajayi is a local name, like really traditional, like maybe like real traditional Ekiti name.
Ah,
So I don't want that. My surname was Lagos name, like city name, Animasham. So I
ah.
like my surname being Animasham because when I say Animasham, people know I'm from the city. However, I'm not from the city, but the name is a city name. So Ajayi is a. So I said to my husband, I don't want Ajayi, and guess what he says? Do whatever you like. I don't care. I
Oh,
told
really? Oh,
I
bless you, Bumi.
I told the daddy. The daddy is like, hey, my life, my son is already traded his life. Why? I said, Daddy, my husband said I can bear my name if I like. I can forget about Ajay. My father-in-law nearly dropped dead. He's like, what? This, you want to sell your birthright because you want to marry a wife? And then, I later said, I can do a compound name. So I break it, but I didn't use Anima Shamba. I just say Temi Bumi Ajayi. So basically, I'm bearing all Bumi's name. So I said Temi Bumi Ajayi because Bumi is a bit fancy. So I said,
Mm.
in where we come from, Bumi is fancy. So I said, I'll be Temi Bumi Ajayi. And Bumi was okay with it. And some people in Nigeria actually call me Temi Bumi Ajayi. They did.
Nice.
Some, some people call me that name before
Yeah.
in Nigeria, some of my people and friends. So yeah, in that way I believe in compound name, but I really want a girl to bear my son's name. I
Now
really
that's really interesting now.
I know.
So what does that, what do you make that mean, Timmy? When a girl is coming to get married to your family and she's taking your son's name, what does that mean?
Oh, it just makes me feel like my son owns her.
Owns her. Oh
My son is got bought a wife. No, but I'm kidding. But really, it means it not on. I don't know what other word I want to use. Like it, my like it just makes it just solidifies the relationship and makes my son really tangible. That I don't know. I just feel if I'm using all this word, listening to myself, it doesn't sound good. Listening to it, I can't even say, but I feel like my son is got something very precious to him, and also we don't want our name, the son name, we don't want it to be extincted, to finish, so that the name will be carried over to generation and generation, and by God's grace is going to continue to build a good name, so we want that to carry over. And plus, some culture where I come from, they pay dowries. We pay dowries. So when your family collect dowries, it's as if you've been bought, because you collected a lot of money, they collected a lot of things. Some culture give you a lot of cows and all that, like I don't know. But my culture is money and gifts, and so some people give you a house, some people might give a car for your marriage. They give to you. So if your family collect all this money from your in-laws, I think it's fair enough that you bear their name because you've been bought. And
Mm.
they tell you you go and never to return in those days. There's
Oh,
no more.
wow.
Yeah, you can't come back. The moment you're gone, your room is being taken over, remodified, or give to your stepfather, mother, or something. So you're not coming back home. You've been bought, you know. Because
Wow.
even though the Bible said the man will cling, we actually do the reverse. It's always the woman that is being sent forth, the lady that is being sent with the man. So men don't really come they come to
Mm.
take you, and they take you to their houses. So that's something that we need to really look into.
Wow, that's very different. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
One day we're going to come and talk a lot about marriages, because marriages are very interesting. From where I come from, if you hear things will blow your mind. You know,
Yeah.
they say when you go, you never return. And I have a case of a friend of mine that got married, and all the father's inheritance goes to the boy. She doesn't get nothing. She got zero.
Mm.
And at a time, even one of the brothers that got this mansion, got this inheritance that is big, he didn't have money to refurbish the property. Guess what? He told the sister if she wants to buy a house. So the sister was to buy the inheritance of the father. It was given to the brother. The brother can't maintain it. Now want to sell it to the sister. And the sister said, I'm not going to buy something that's supposed to belong to both of us, but they gave it to you because you're a man. And now you want
Mm.
to buy, I'm not buying it. So some ridiculous stuff that will blow your mind. One day I think we're going to come back and talk about it.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, sounds interesting.
Yeah. So we go on a break, and I'll be back to go even deeper into this stuff. Be back. Welcome back on the show. We're just talking about the culture of a woman taking on the husband's names, where that is coming from. Is it like mandatory? Would you let your son marry a girl that doesn't bear the name of your son? It's very hard. I don't know, for people that are extremely culturally sensitive like myself. But that's why we're talking. That's why we're on the show, to liberate each other and to have more understanding and to know that the way the world is going, a lot of things are permissible, and we should just be open. Don't be too shocked.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked about what's going to happen. But Heidi, last week you were talking about how come women are not rich or something. I want to explore that with you. Did you say women were not one of the richest people in the world?
I was saying that there are richer men than women in the world. Like if you look at the list of the richest people in the world, you will see that most of them are men, not women.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
There was a lady that Franco's Bentecourt Myers. She's worth 78.4 billion, 78.46 billion. She's worth. I'm interested in that. And I know that a lot of people, a lot of women are rich, but I believe they brought that richness under the husbands
Or the parents.
or the parents.
Yes. So self-made. I'm talking about self-made millionaires or self-made billionaires. You will see that they are a lot more men than women.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I looked at like Gina. You say Gina, what is that called? Reinhardt got from the father and stuff like that. But I actually still believe that there are a lot of women that are rich, but they combine with the husband, like Beyonce, and the husband. They just combine with their husbands. Then it's very hard, to know which one is richer. I think a lot of times, I think women invest so much in helping their husbands sometimes to even be greater than them. You agree?
Yes, yes, that is true. I agree to that. And also, do you remember the meeting that we went to, Timmy, a couple of weeks ago? Do you remember this amazing, beautiful lady that had this really successful, very, very, very successful business, and she does, candles and incense. I think is it
Yeah,
candles and incense? Yeah,
yeah,
and so she's such a beautiful, successful, really high regarded woman and entrepreneur in the like this is why we were there to meet her and to hear her talk. And she's self-made also.
yes. She's self-made. I mean, that lady was at a time she was running a business of $70 million or 70 billion dollars or something. Ridiculous amount of money. And exactly, but she's humble. And I don't even know if you go online to find her worth, maybe I don't know if we're going to be able to get it, because a lot of times they get these people because they're trading on stock exchange, they listed, and then you see them. But some people, the way they manage their wealth, I don't know. We have a lot of ladies, women in Australia, like Naomi Simpson, all those ones, extremely
Yeah.
successful. But Nicole Kidman, all those people, but you might not see them on the highest list, uh, ladder either. But I'm sure that we have a lot of women, but also women sometimes they drop. I think you've said this one that you said, do we have to pursue this career? Because some of us are some feminists, they look after the home, they give up on the successful career because of their children, isn't it? So then the man, nothing pulls them back, nothing hold them back. They just keep going and they pursue. So it's not that the women cannot attain that. It's because sometimes they sacrifice their career and their financial, desire for their family. So it's not that they don't want. We don't have rich women also out there, but that's something to think about. But I've got quite a number of women that one of them could buy 10 of these richest people. You know what I mean? Like their wealth. Really.
Yes, yes, I get that.
Mm.
However, Temi, what do you think we're innately designed for?
I know you said something like this last a couple of weeks ago, and it's interesting that you're asking it again.
I'm
Uh,
asking you, what are we innately designed to do?
we're designed to be number one, a helpmate. So meaning to build someone, to shaping someone, to elevate someone. to fulfill, to let them fulfill. So means we have capacity to do that too. So I will not say, because if you're helping someone, there's a proverb where I come from that whoever is going to bless you, you look at them first and see if they're blessed. So if the women, if they're not good, they will not be able to build somebody. But God
Yes.
has created us for good. He's created us to build. So that means we can build ourselves as well to be able to build someone. So what God created us is a lot. I think God is created us for power. He's created us for strength, for success, as well as the men. But you might now say that we have the womb, we carry
Yes.
baby, and we're natural in that way. And so we're naturally inclined to nurture. And we're very, I like the way you said last time that we're like, the man is the boundary and we're like the fluid. So inside of it, meaning we're very pliable, we could just be adaptable, we can take shape, so we're able to be flexible with the way we go. We're not as aggressive as men. Men were created to dig and to fire and to build and to do so, but we're created to nurture. So I think the nurturing part of us is what mostly guide the way we dispense or we
Yes.
operate in life. So then we don't want to see a kid suffer. I will not go to work if my child is sick. That, like, I was talking about this woman in the Bible like the other day, that the child was sick. The Shunammite woman, the child was sick. It was with the father, and the father said, "Oh, take him to the mother." And this is what is happening to you today. Take him
Mm.
to the mother. I don't know, it's hot. What is and the mother will be the one to know, I'm going to put this on the bed, I'm going to get the priest to lay hands, and I'm going to, the woman is the one. And sometimes you hug your baby, that heart goes, it just goes, that, so we're built for this. We know this innately, and automatically that's how we operate, to nurture.
Yes.
But that does not mean that God has not given us capacity to be a soldier. A woman has to be there. I mean, we might not be at the forefront fighting as like a combatant. We could be a doctor, we could be a nurse, we could be a cook to look after them, to be able to go to the war front. If somebody doesn't look after them, they will die anyway. Then they cannot do anything. You know what I mean? So, but a woman, I believe woman is got so much capacity. I remember Lee said something on the show. She said, if God created the woman first, but there might not be any need to create a man. That was good. And I believe because
Yes.
the woman has got everything. If God created the woman first, there will not be any need for the man. But God is wise in his infinite mercy. He created man, and he wants the woman to be humble, even though you are a woman, but the most power is in you. But I want
Mm.
you to use that power for this one, because this one is not good. It's not good. I created it, but it's not enough. I want you to help him to complete him. And
Yes.
so women are really powerful, and I think we can do a lot of things. And we're
Mm.
we're not departmental like men. It's one way. Women are very versatile. The other guy described our brain like spaghetti. And it's
Yes.
true. It's spaghetti. Like today, you go vote, you go volunteer, you go have a meeting community, you go look after the family, you're doing the show. After that, you're having dinner. We could do so many things. A lot of men cannot do that. They will collapse.
That's true.
A lot of men couldn't do it. But women can do it. Some 12 years old will even do something amazing. Girls, so the question to see what we're created for, innately, we're created to nurture and to birth something. When you birth it, you nurture it, you support the thing. It's to fruition. But we also, like you said, there's feminine and there's masculinity in one person. And I remember I was saying that's why we have the X chromosome and Y chromosome. So depending on which one is more dominant and which one is, recessive. If your Y chromosome is more dominant, then you'll be so masculine. because that is what is fighting and taking over. But if you're feminine, if your ex is dominant in your gene, then you'll be more feminine. But you can, depends on the fabric. And God knows why He created the people the way He created, make one more masculine, more feminine. But that does not take the fact that as a woman, I believe we're powerful. I believe we can do anything we want to do. But one thing I'm going to say, ID, is that you just have to know who you are and be comfortable in who you are. So if you're it doesn't mean you should change from being a woman. You're born a man or a woman, a girl or a boy. So that's, let's just get that right. So even if your masculinity is dominant, if you're white chromosome, that doesn't not make you a man. You're just a woman that is masculine. So we have some men that is feminine. I have a man that braids my hair. He braids it like a woman, but he's a man. He's married and he's got children. Married to his wife, and he's married to his wife for so many years. No problem. He's not confused about who he is. He's just a man that is feminine. He talks very light. He walks very sophisticated like a woman, but he's a man. He's married. And we know he's married. He's fully man. He's straight. You know what I mean? So that doesn't mean you should be confused. But I say that to say God has created us for power and for a lot. You just have to know what that is and enjoy it and be confident in that. I know
Yes.
last week we talked about confusion and everything. Yes, some people are confused, and that's a fact. But let's go on a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back on the show. I'm just enjoying this show. I don't know why I'm so excited. I guess I've missed it. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying it. And just be open. It's not that hard. Be open, be gentle, be flexible, receivable, and be teachable. That's what is going to save you in this life. Otherwise, you will just kill yourself of stress, of anguish. I went to the polling booth today, I saw cannabis, cannabis party.
Party. Yeah.
I think this is the first this is the first year we hear that. I've never heard that before. The world is going crazy right now. They're going mad. And that's why you need to keep your head straight. I really want someone to talk to me, really, about what does that means, cannabis party. So, are we going to all be taking cannabis at the table? Are we going to be feeding ourselves cannabis? Are we? Why would you make that a party? That's just disgraceful. I don't know what you say. You can do anything you like about this. For me, I think we're trying to curb the amount of um, nonsense on the street, the amount of all these unruliness and wild behavior because people are under the influence. We really need to get somebody to tell us this because I really don't know what this means.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to get to one of the parliament members to come and speak to us about that, because it's important that we understand, what are we actually looking at here? Because do you know the agenda of any of the parties?
I know
I
some of
don't. I
I
don't
know some of
know.
them. It's only two dominant one, Liberal and Labour, and some of them are wanting us to be successful. Some of them don't want people to be successful. They want them to be papa forever. And I think we look at the inclusiveness, we look at migration, we look at job sustainability, we look at the infrastructure, some of the things, and see which one is dominant. But the names that I'm seeing on the pulling boot, ID, we can literally start something. You can just say haters club or something. You know,
Yeah.
I want to know. I really need to get someone on the show to talk to us. What criteria and how long or what do you have to do to get a party? To have a party
To
and to
start a
have,
party. Yeah.
yeah, and then name it, and I don't know. So that was very, very interesting. So I was saying something before I got that some of these things, I don't know about you, can make me go, my head pounding, pounding. Where is the world going? And why are they toiling with our lives like this? It's
Yes.
just like a game, like everything is a game right now. Nothing is normal right here.
Mm.
So I remember last week, I was I was forgetful and it was scary. I went to get your mugs. I went to Kmart to do the mugs. I went to Point Cook to do it. Then I went to Hopper's Crossing to collect it. And this lady said, what name? I put the name and she goes, no, there's nothing under this name. And I said, no, there's something under my name because I came here. The lady's like, no, I can't find your name. I was insistent that I was there. And then
Mm.
she said, have you got the invoice by receipt by any chance? So I got the receipt out. My receipt says Point Cook.
Mm.
And I still was telling this woman that I remember I sat down here. Heidi, I did not sit down there.
Oh, wow. Mm.
I did not. I was at Hoppers Crossing. So I went back, Point Cook. I went back to Point Cook and I said, Do I did I come here? Did I? And they said yes. So I pull myself back. I'm like, Temi, you need some serious grinding. So the amount of things I was thinking about at my father's funeral, oh, that was too much.
Yes, yes, Temi.
Never
Um,
been there before.
yeah, yeah. You are just overwhelmed with the amount of things that you have to think about and the amount of things that you need to manage from a distance. And that is just, there's so much that is, you've got your awareness all occupied with so many different things. Plus, you're traveling a lot now. So you've been out of Melbourne in the past month, maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So this is why it's important that do some grounding and stay home for a while and start writing things down, instead of just keeping them here. Because when you do, you don't need to think about them. And you know what? I so relate to what you just said, for the one reason. Sometimes when we are doing something and we are so occupied, you're not taking exact details of the place, of the people, of the surroundings and of the environment. And then you go to a similar environment and you think like, I was there before, but you weren't. And that's okay. And that's just normal. You're just a normal person having this amazing human experience.
I felt I was not normal. And you know what I now did a serious grinding. Even yesterday, I did a serious grinding. I did not come out of my house yesterday. I was indoor throughout. And then I said, I'm gonna screen what I listen to. I'm gonna screen where I go, especially now that the petrol is even ridiculous. The diesel, I think I fill my car with $200
Oh
on
my
real.
goodness.
Yes, I did a video of it. I put it on the story, but I don't know if it came out. But I video my thing. So it's really crazy. So I'm reduced. Sometimes now I'm a bit short. That's what I do. I'm short with people. If I'm talking to you and what you're telling me is irrelevant, I'm cutting off, and it will look as if I'm rude, but I'm very mindful of my mindfulness. I'm very mindful of, if it's not gonna, like somebody will say, is it okay, Tell me if you intervene? in this thing. And I said, no, we did something on the show, unsolicited advice. It's not necessary.
Yes.
I
Yes.
stopped that rubbish, stopped it. If I'm not really, really desired, I don't advise. And sometimes
Yes.
I might look as if I'm not smart. Good. Whatever you like, put it. But I'm not going to talk into your life when I'm not asked. If
Yes.
you're talking to me in my culture, when people talk to you, it's assumed that they expect your advice. So we always advise randomly. But since we did the show, believe it or not, unsolicited advice, it's cut off from my list. Unless somebody specifically said, I need your advice, please, then I will
Mhm.
spend that time. Because those are the things that are filling your memory, and then
That's
your memory disk is filling up with rubbish that does not concern you. It's not even necessary. So I'm managing myself by grinding, and I'm writing things down as well and thinking, what do I,
done.
and that's why I'm able to still function.
Yes.
So I know from this time to the, I said to the my party people, I'm going to volunteer from 4 to 5. I've got show at 6. So it takes me 10 minutes to come from the center to come here and prepare and relax and make my cup of tea. All set out. I voted in the morning from 11 to 12. So I'm just working my time out like that. Whatever
Hmm.
I'm supposed to meet with somebody at 2. It came at 3:30. No, you have to meet me at my station now because I've moved. Before, I will stay till 3 till it comes, and I'll be late for my next. No, I'm not doing that. So if you say 2, it's 2. If you come late, you meet me at the next site because I've moved. And I'm loving it. I'm
That's
loving it.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. And you know what? You're doing yourself and someone else a favor.
Mhm.
This shows that you respect yourself and they learn to respect themselves from what you're doing, by the way.
Yeah.
This is adding value to people's lives, Temi. When you have your own boundaries and when you understand your own limits and limitations and you tell it and you communicate that to someone else, that's just honoring
Mhm.
the person you are and honoring, giving them the chance to start honoring themselves as well. So well done. Good on you. I like that.
Thank you. I like to grow ID. If I'm growing
Yes.
older and I'm not growing in wisdom, that's stupid. So I can't do
No,
that.
you're growing. You're growing, my friend, immensely.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna go on a quick break. We'll be back. I want to talk a little bit about what has been happening also in my life. So stay
Yeah.
back, stay tight. We'll be back. Welcome back on the show. We're talking about Adam and Eve and masculine and feminine and why women bears their husbands' names and all sort of things I do. Which has been very amazing. But and I just want to talk about last week I did a video. I know you saw the video and you were asking also uh if it was my friend's son that was getting married.
Yes.
I I love marriage. I really do. I really do. I think when you have a good friend and husband or wife, I it will I believe it will actually extend your life expectancy, our
Yes.
life expectancy. It's I think it's fulfilling in that that 2 o'clock in the morning, if you need to chat, there's somebody you can disturb. You know, you can't wake me up at 2 and I wouldn't even answer. I was, why is she calling me? What's it? But if you call your partner at 2, they're like, is she okay? Let me answer. A good partner. So I really love that. And last week was extremely busy, but I picked my battle. I chose which one I want to go to. In our community, this has been one of my burden. No one asked me, no one, I just carry this burden myself. because I'm seeing all our youths, they're not marrying. And I will keep talking about them until something shifts in their brain, in their memory, and in their view to know that it's good to have a friend. The
Mm,
reason One of the reason I can say categorically why people get depressed or they kill themselves or whatever is because they're lonely. That
mm,
loneliness is not good. Because look, I have children, so there's no way I'm going to be lonely even if I don't have partner. You know what I'm saying? You have something. It's
mm,
your own. I like to own something.
mm.
You know, but these people, you don't own anything. You don't have anything. You're by yourself. Why aren't you just coming down and just find love? And I know that there are lots of love out there, but the expectation, I know we've talked about it on this show before. The expectation of these people is it can even give him headache. It's just crazy. Lower that expectation, because if you don't lower it, by the time you realize it, it's too late. That's when now a boy is chasing a girl, or a girl is, at the end of the day, by the time you're like 40, whatever, nobody chases anybody anymore. So now just humble, Heidi. I'm really not, I'm unhappy with the way these kids are doing. What is the problem? And I said, because like in my community, like, I know your mother, we know each other. So I don't think there's a way these kids can be totally outrageous, because we're family people, we're relational people, we know each other. So there's no way a boy or a girl will be totally disgusting. I don't know what word to use. It can be. The devil you know is better than the saint you don't know.
Mm.
But I shouldn't use that word, but I'm just using loosely. It's good to know a saint, not a devil. But I when that one was happening last Saturday, I'm like, I will do whatever to be. What
Yes.
Lord help me, and it was beautiful, it was amazing, it was glorious. But I really need these people. I know it's not just me, a lot of us are praying. And the fear I have is, if these youth, the older ones, are not married, the ones that are coming might not even marry, they join them, then we'll be extincted. I don't want that. I really want to.
No, no, no. They will get married. The thing is, Temi, I'm actually reading a really good book now. It says, um, the title of the book says, "Love is not what matters. There's so many other things that matter.
Mhm.
Love is not the only thing. There's so many things that keep people together, that draw people together. But the problem is that we are becoming self-sufficient. You see, that's where people like, girls like my daughter, for example, Ellie, she's self-sufficient. She runs her own business. She has another job. She's doing so well at uni. She has her life and all of these things. And if she happens to find someone who is interested in her and fits into the life that she's designed, she can consider. But it's not anymore like I want a companion to do this life with. It's like, let me do life, and if a companion comes along, I'll go ahead and hold hands and we go together. It's
We need
not.
to change it. we need to
Yes.
we need to change that, because
Yes.
I know I have a daughter that is successful as well in her own right, doing the second degree, double degree, whatever they do, they success. But the thing is, you will get to a stage, maybe 40, then you wake up. It's not There's no way you're going to continue to go like that. So whatever you're going to wait for in the future, or now struggling in the future, don't leave it to the end. and
Yes.
and you're right. Most of the girls now, they wanting somebody to, not just the girls, these people, this youth, they behave the same. The boy behaves like that too. I want a girl that will fit into me, and then I want the boy that will fit into me. why don't you just desire to bless someone? Look, I'm good, I've got job, I've got everything. Anyone that finds me now finds a good thing. Hopefully somebody finds me. And also we need to be able to give and take. Life is about give and take. I'm not saying to, live your life because you want a boy or live your because you want a girl, but you have to be considerate. You have to work together, you know. So the girls might say, I've got a business, I have to go and do a business on Saturday, on Sunday. You're only a kid. You don't need all this business. You're gonna do business all your life,
Yes.
So if the boy says, for example, can we meet on Saturday? Cancel that business of yours. It's fine. This ideal of number one, life is business is not true. It's
Mm.
not true. Money you will always have, business you will always have, work you will always have, but you're growing older, and then but you continue to grow on your own. By the time you're ready, the men are gone or something. Just while you
Yes.
are youth, where
Mm.
you are youth, I think it's selfishness, and I really want us to talk. I want to get some youth on the show for us to talk. I know we've talked about them once, but this is getting really serious for all these people. I
Yes.
have I haven't done wedding in 10 years or so.
Mm.
I haven't done any wedding in my community. It's really, I don't know if other parents are sitting down, and if they're comfortable, I feel sorry, because we
Yeah.
really we really should not be comfortable. We really should be talking to our kids.
Mm.
Just, like you said, love is not everything. Love can even come later. But blessing someone, you will be blessed. Every time I think I'm blessing someone, I'm blessing myself. It's crazy. This
That's
is
so true. Yeah.
this is crazy. A lady came to me the other day. She's a counselor. Somebody referred her to me so that I can help her to refer her to people. And so I was talking to her on the phone, and I looked at my list and I should cut her off. I don't have time. I can't help you. You're not in my list. So I just said, I'll give you 1 minute. Talk to me. And then she did. And I said, listen, even I need help. I said to her. She said it's part of her placement. She needs to do placement. She needs to get some people. And I said, all right, I'll give you next week. You can talk to me because I think I need help. And she said, oh, really? Somebody told me you're the most powerful. I said, that's a lie. And that's what you need to change. Nobody is powerful. Just come talk to me. And I said, I've got a child with special needs. And she was talking to me. And then she said, oh, I did this. I had a company. I have this. This girl has got so much going on, but she just happened to go and do counseling this time. And she wants to finish it, but she's got businesses and everything running. As I'm
Mm.
talking to you now, she's got the key to my house. She's helping me. I'm supposed to help her. She's the best. Yesterday, she's cooked pasta. She's talking to me. I'm like, what? I came home for pasta. Oh my gosh, beautifully. So, and I thought I was going to help her. Every time I leave 1 minute to help somebody, that person end up helping me like unbelievably. So you try and find someone to help. Not your business, I, my, and I alone. It does not work. Every time I help people, the way it blesses me, no money can pay that woman back.
Mm.
No money. In fact, I don't have the money to pay her for what she is to me in this short time that I met her. Very
Mm.
resourceful, very supportive, fantastic woman. And I just met her randomly because I want to help her. You see,
Amazing.
but
Yeah.
we need to keep talking to our people.
Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we
And
do.
I want you to give them an advice. Let's go on a quick break. You come back and give advice how people can just help people and how we can multiply in this nation.
Mm.
Be back. Welcome back on the show. I think I was just sharing my desire for this community or for our youth. We have not done wedding, I think, in 10 years, if I'm not wrong. And we really want more. The issues we don't know, but we want to just give a guide on how to help. Because if you do it early, it's better than leaving it till later and you're too tired and you're too old and now you're regretting, and all you're adding to the relationship is not, it's not fun anymore. It's just, you know, I hate to say anger or bitterness or something nasty, but I want to say something good. Heidi, help us, help my community. I don't know about Egypt, your community. Are they intermarrying?
Yeah, they are. And I can definitely say that there are a lot of young girls. They're not young anymore. They are in their 30s, and some of them are, just waiting for, the right relationship or the right commitment or the right, whatever it is that in their eyes is right.
Good.
And they're not really, jumping into the marriage, or and then there are so many families. I know that there is a really large percentage and amount of divorce that is happening, but there is also a really, really large amount of, uncommitted, um, you know, um, people, youth, that don't want to commit to a relationship because of fear, or because of, not finding the right one, thinking that there could be a right one, or there is a right one and there is a wrong one, and all of that. So, in conclusion to the 4 weeks that we've done so far of Adam and Eve, when we talked about everything that is concerning Adam and Eve, I'd like to say there is an Egyptian saying that someone should choose a companion before choosing where to go. So, a companion before choosing the trip. Why? Because the trip is going to be much more worthwhile, much more enjoyable, much more fruitful if you have a companion.
That's
And yes,
100%.
yes. So, do you remember that day when I asked you if we can go together somewhere, and it turned out that you can't come? So I canceled my trip. Why? Because I don't want to go to that trip alone. Because
Yes.
if I have a companion, that
Mm,
trip will be so much richer, will be so much beautiful, be so much enjoyable, will be so much, amazing. The experience is going to be multiplied, is going to be doubled, tripled, quadrupled. Why? Because there's two hearts together, there's two minds together, there's two people imagining things, and this is why it's so important for two people to pray together better than one. And this is why I always say, you know, be open,
be open.
be open.
Right.
Start seeing what is
Right.
good in others, what is amazing in others.
Yes.
Choose someone who is inspired by the same things that you are inspired about, and
Mhm.
start having, long conversations, start having fruitful conversations, start looking at, where am I pointing the direction to? Are they looking at the same direction? If I point my finger to God, are they pointing to the same God? If they are, then what is stopping us from holding hands and walking this path together? This is what I really pray and hope and feel that, this is the message that I have, intended from the start of this topic. And I really, really have so much inspiration and so much passion about this topic, because of, what I see every day in life, and because of what I look at in my own life and my daughter's lives. And I really pray, wish, and hope that we can turn this around somehow, and bring back companionship into our lives a lot more. Thank you,
I
Temi.
love it. I love that. Companion before the trip and open-minded. It's the key. You've just
Yes.
nailed it. It's the key. And I would love us to come back and do a show on that companion before the trip. Because a lot of times we have we have made some judgment, we have passed some comment that
Yes.
now it's not relevant, and how we're going to represent that to these youth so that they get it is what we're on for. I think I love what you just said about companion, and I have a serious point, but we're running out of time. When people say, I will take you out for dinner, and you want to know where, this, what? No, this person might want to surprise you. This person wants to take you. So anticipate the journey. All you care about is this person that you want to hang out with. And let the person, let her surprise you where she's going. Don't be overwhelmed by where, what food, what's it's fine. People can have a slice of cake and a cup of tea and they have the best relationship,
Yes.
companion or conversation ever. Be open-minded, don't close up, and be flexible sometimes. I'm not saying wishy-washy, I'm saying just be flexible. Very, very important. But we're gonna go now. Next week is gonna be another amazing topic. Think I've got Liz greatness next week. We wait and see what we've got in
Yes.
stock. So thank you so much, Heidi,
Thank
Adam,
you.
and Eve, and everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Temi.
It's just amazing. And I like the question, what do you think the women are made for? Even though we have all this power, all this, but particularly what? And that's the nurturing. And the men, just know who you are and be comfortable in your skin.
Thank you,
God
Temi. Thank you.
amazing. So thank you everybody for watching. I believe you've been blessed. I have been really, really blessed, and I can't wait to watch. I go over and over and over. It's Heidi, you're amazing. God bless
Thank you, Temi. Thank you. Have a good night. Thank
you
you,
too.
everyone. Have a good night. Bye bye.